Welcome to the Creative REI podcast, your go-to hub for all things real estate, business, life, travel, etc. I'm your host, Dante, joined by my co-host, Ed, both real estate professionals on a mission to connect and educate. This podcast is sponsored by PropStream, the most trusted provider of comprehensive real estate data nationwide. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Dante Pena with the Creative REI Experience. The purpose of this podcast is simple: real estate, life, business, travel, and other news. Okay, so we're going to talk about real estate, most of the time, but we want to have fun with this. We want to interact with you guys as, the viewers and the fans. But with that, let me introduce my guy, Ed. Shout out to Ed. Ed started working with me in real estate about a year ago, and ever since we've just kind of grown into this little partnership, and it's been going really, really well ever since. So, that what we want to do first and foremost on our first episode is we want to let y'all know a little bit about us, and we're gonna do that with starting with Ed. Ed.
So my name is Edward. My Instagram is 11Nava if you guys want to check us out. Also Creative REI. Actually, let me know what you guys think about the logo. We had some guy do the design for us in the middle, little backstory, and then I made the rest on Canva. So it's a little
Enough about the logo, Ed. Where are you
from? I'm from North County, San Diego. Kind of just moved around, from Encinitas, San Marcos.
San Diego kid, local.
Yeah, North County. So right now I'm in Vista, so a little bit more inland now. But born and raised, Tri-City, shout out, Oceanside. Okay. Yeah. Just kind of been doing my thing around, North County. I also went to college locally.
How old are you?
22 now.
22 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
But while I was in college, I did 3 years. So I was a business major, administration. So, I didn't really know what I really wanted to do. So before going to college, I either wanted to pursue psychology or business. I was talking to a lot of peers, a lot of teachers. They were like, no, psychology is not that good. It's not a really good paying career. So it kind of just let me down. So I'm like, let's just give business a try, right? The thing about the college I was going to is more theory-based, more textbook. Okay. So, the professor would just give you an assignment, or just read page this and that, give me a report, we'll do a test next week, right?
Yeah.
I learned a lot, basic fundamentals, like accounting, stuff like that. Just basic business metrics, but it just wasn't for me. I really just wanted to, go ahead and get in the field and entrepreneurship and essentially just start, pursuing.
As opposed to just finishing business.
Right.
Question.
So, yeah.
You wanted to be in psychology first. Right? And somebody talked you out of that.
Multiple people, yeah.
Multiple people talked you out of that. Where do you think you'd be now if you would have just said, ignore the noise, I'm still going to do psychology? You ever thought about that?
Well, for me, I've never really pictured myself becoming, this specific, professional or being in a specific position. I just thought psychology was pretty cool. I took some classes in high school. I'm like, damn, the human mind's pretty interesting, right?
I agree.
Mind-body connection, specifically spiritually. I don't know if, you're a strong believer about, about your spirit and energy, but it's just psychology alone. It's a never-ending, cycle of just learning about yourself and other people. So I found that really interesting, but a lot of people, just going over your question, they, as a job or career, it didn't really make sense because, you're not going to make much money unless you're a counselor or, psychologist or a teacher, which, in a sense, it did make sense, right? There's not much, career pathway unless you stick to a specific route.
Right.
But, they told me, if you, go ahead and pursue a business, it's going to open up so much doors and maybe get to the point of psychology, right? Maybe open up your own firm, your own clinic. So
maybe hire the psychologist instead of actually be the psychologist.
So I took that advice. Wasn't a bad advice, it's still pursuing education. But business, I just kind of want to set my foot inside the realm and, experience what I needed to experience myself, learn from my mistakes, make some investments, personal investments, put some asset into the business as well. Yeah. Whatever it needs to take to, essentially just start taking action.
Right. So at age 22, he's pretty much an entrepreneur where he actually has his own business expenses. He runs his own program and essentially just partners up with other people like myself. So he doesn't work for me. He works with me is how I like to look at it. So little businessman. Okay. So now, how'd you get into real estate?
So in my third year in college, so technically my junior year, what was it? What was I doing? I think I had I was in part-time with the city at a city job locally. It was a cool job. I recently left the job to pursue full-time in the business.
Okay. But how do you feel about quitting your job and going all in?
It was a pretty big switch, specifically my routine changed. And there was nothing really to look forward in terms of the position, right? Because I mentally I needed to prepare myself, I need to stay organized, I need to schedule out my days, have my meals prepped, whatever the case may be. And entrepreneurship, there's no one putting you accountable for your hours and time.
You're accountable,
right? So it was a big change for me. I wasn't used to it, but I had to get used to it. There was no other way. So now I just kind of base myself in my own little routine. Kind of go to the gym in the morning or go on a run. Talk about runs. We have a little competition going on.
Yeah, I'm going to smoke Ed for this steak dinner.
So we're doing a 100-mile challenge a month or whoever.
100 miles in 1 month.
Right.
Y'all heard that? That's where we're shooting. I think I'm at 50. I need to step my game.
Yeah, we were bad this month. Yeah, I had a lot of family stuff, so not an excuse, but just, I was not doing my best.
So you got a routine.
Right.
Okay. It's funny you say that. I had a friend and he told me he puts his day into buckets, right? And I would assume morning bucket is your routine, right? I like to call it self-care. I think self-care is extremely important. And then you got your work bucket and then you got your family bucket and you don't want to intertwine the two, right? So cool. So you got a routine and you learned that.
And I think myself, for me, it's more of a dedication. I need to finish these goals before I do this. If I do my fun time, before I go out with my family, with my girlfriend, to me, it's if I don't get this done, I just can't do anything else.
Right.
That's kind of
makes you feel like you didn't complete your day.
Right.
You dropped the ball.
Yeah. So that mindset itself, has helped me be in the position where we're at right now.
Nice. Very nice. So, okay. So when you got into real estate, tell me about your first deal.
So that was in 2022. So it was pretty recently. Took me 6 months to get my first deal.
Wow.
That deal specifically wasn't a typical deal, especially for Dante, since we partnered on it. It was a strategy called Novation. Not sure if you guys heard about it yet, but Novation was something new to us, but it was the only way to essentially save the deal.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot through the process. We had our ups and downs. The deal specifically, not, between our partnership, but, the deal, I learned a lot specifically just, meeting the seller and, having to help her move her stuff out the house and just living through the process, getting to know the agent. Everything was so new to me, but I'm really grateful for that experience because without it, I don't think I would be able to, keep pursuing real estate.
Experience is everything. For me, I'm very hands-on. A lot of people are textbook, they went to college. I did 2 years in college and I was like, I can't do this. It's not me. I was pursuing business major as well, but I was like, man, by the time I finished graduating, I could already be making six figures versus being six figures in debt. Right. So, but it's particularly, oh, go ahead.
No. So sorry to interrupt, but I kind of want to go back to your question where it's like, how did you get into real estate, right? So I know you're referring to college. Before I got into any type of sales, I got a job at a solar sales shop. So I was going door to door.
Solar cells.
Correct. Okay. You know, going door to door to every house, getting yelled at, call the police, you know, get this brown kid out the neighborhood type of thing. It was actually a fun thing to do. Like I actually kind of look forward door knocking because I got my little cardio in. I was like getting some sunlight, you know, having fun. I had like some AirPods sometimes, you know, driving around the neighborhood. I had a really fun experience, and it actually helped me learn a lot about construction, mostly like the roof aspect, you know, making sure, you know, the roof is in good condition or bad condition, the type of tiles, the electrical issues, electrical blocks, electrical meters. So it was a big, you know, introduction into real estate, I would say, more of like the project management side. And to me, I just thought, you know, solar cells, it's
like an up and coming, like everything's going green now.
Right,
so like, why not jump on board?
Right. Makes sense. It's a, you know, if anyone is, you know, here listening to this and wants to look into solar cells, I would, you know, definitely recommend it. It just wasn't for me. You know,
California wants to be all green by 2035.
Something like that, yeah. With the new law changes and stuff.
Correct.
Senate Bill 350, I believe.
So I believe there's actually a law already where it's like every brand new build has to have solar panels.
Right. So, I mean, it is the future. I totally get it. But to me, the business model wasn't for me to keep pursuing. So I was looking at different avenues. And like any typical person, you know, that follows entrepreneurship or real estate, I saw a lot of videos on TikTok about wholesaling and real estate investing and flipping. I was like, let me check this out, right? Let me see, you know, what make $100K in a month, you know, and like less than a year. That's kind of insane, right? So took a look at it. I was watching a lot of videos, and, you know, I just kind of, you know, left it aside because I was just doing my solar stuff until I went to a meetup with Henish at Cal Home Co. That's when kind of opened the world for me.
A networking event.
Exactly. It was a networking event. It was on a Thursday, I believe. Not sure you remember.
What time did it start?
But, you know, he's got his like Thursday meetups that he does at his brokerage. So I went to one of those. You know, I networked with a lot of people there. There were a lot of investors, a lot of agents. Got a lot of contacts. And one of the contacts I got was from Dante. And that's kind of where everything started. That's how I got into real estate. You know, I learned from a lot of my own mistakes, and I didn't even know what ARV meant or comps or, you know.
Yeah, terminology was big.
Right. So just, I just went ahead and, you know, did my thing with real estate with you.
Cool. That's what's up. And the journey continues.
Right. Now we're here doing our first podcast.
Yeah. And we're still doing deals, by the way. We got a whole operation. We got, how many people do we have today? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah, we had a few people on.
We have 5 or 6. So we got a team we're building. It's exciting. It's super exciting to see the growth. I did a podcast a few months back, and it was just like 3 of us. And it's just exciting to see the growth and even the smiles and the cries. What else?
I think I interrupted you. You were saying something before how I got into real estate.
How you got into real estate. You were talking to, you went to a Henish meetup, and it's been a hit ever since then.
Right.
And then now we're just accepting the journey.
Right. What do you think about meeting me? I want to hear your perception.
Dang, he put me on the spot. That was good. That was really good.
I'm curious.
So Ed, so my perception, right? Ed called me one day. I think he reached out.
Yeah.
Reached out and said, hey, can we take a phone call? I said, sure, why not? I had a few minutes, called him up, and we started talking. And, he's like, yeah, I've been doing research for like 3 months. And I've been really thinking about getting into real estate. And I'm like, great. How many phone calls have you made? And he was like, none. I was like,
all right.
So my thing is, so my background, should we just rewind?
Yeah.
Let's
rewind a little bit.
Okay, so business. Obviously, I already said I went to college and wanted to do business in college. I had my first business at age 11. I went door to door, and I knocked door to door and asked people if they wanted to get a car wash with me and a buddy. and it was like $10 for the car wash. But we had these flyers where for $7 a week, we'll give you a cheaper car wash, but you have to become a client. It's like a weekly subscription, keep your car clean. And so that was where the first one, that was one of the first businesses that I ever started. But, you know, same as him, we're both, you know, born and raised in the same area. Believe it or not, it's kind of generational how people grow up there. But it's a small town by the beach, Oceanside. I, you know, grew up next to a nice beach town, but there's definitely an environment around there where, you know, it wasn't really the greatest. And I think because of that, what kept me out of trouble was surfing. So I started surfing at age 8, been at the beach every day, moved to Dallas, Texas, and was like, what was I thinking? Like, although don't get me wrong, I love Dallas. It's actually a really nice city.
It seems dope. I've never gone, but
Right. But I was just like, there's no beach here. How am I gonna go surfing? So I didn't think about that when I moved there. But started sales when I was 18 years old, selling phones in the mall, where everybody's like the most avoided person. Like if there's anybody that's the most avoided person when you're walking through the mall, it's that guy.
And shoe cleaners.
And well, I think shoe cleaners are the new age cell phone guys because, you know, back in the day, cell phone guys, they shut down the kiosk. They're not around anymore. You won't find one. But those shoe guys are still there.
They're hustling.
Right.
Yeah. You got white shoes, you just got to walk away from them.
And if it's not them, it's the people with the skincare, right? And they come up and they're like, hey, let me put some stuff on you or the hair, whatever. So that was where it all began for me on sales and learning how to talk to people. It's funny. He said he's a psych major. There's a lot of psychology that's used in sales, obviously, but you know, I think it's crazy how you're talking about the brain. You know, scientifically, the brain is what controls everything in the body, right? It tells you you're feeling pain. It tells you you're up. It tells you you're alive, right? So if it can do that much control, who's to say what you can figure out once you know how it works and can, you know, make it work for yourself? The possibilities are limitless. All right. And I learned that starting with sales, right? So from there, I was such a good cell phone guy that I closed this loan guy. And the loan guy was like, you should do loans. And I was like 18 years old, happy to make like my little $2,000 every 2 weeks. So I was like, nah, man, I'm doing good, but appreciate it. And then I talked to this one guy and he's like, yeah, man, I'm making like $30K a month. You know, and back in 2005.
Yeah, it's a lot.
A lot of money. That was a lot of money. So I was like, let me give this a try. Right. And as soon as I did that, market crashed. 2008, market crashed. Nobody was qualifying for loans. So we switched to another division that worked with underwriters on getting people out of foreclosure and renegotiating their loans with the bank. And there was all types of people that worked there. You had brokers, you had agents, you had other lenders, you had inspectors. Like anybody that was in the real estate industry worked at that office doing loan modifications. And that's where it all started. I was 20 years old. I was hungry. I was listening to everything. So that's where I started kind of learning the terminology in real estate. And then fast forward to, you know, moving to Dallas. I had a corporate gig doing cell phones, right? What started off being cell phones in a mall turned into like technology sales with big, large corporations. And so it paid well. It had good benefits. It just wasn't for me, you know? And so I felt like I hit a plateau where I was, and I feel like I was just, you know, wanting to do more. And when I found real estate, it intrigued me. There's something that intrigues me. I want to learn more about it. I've always been like that. I've always been this is intriguing. Let's figure out more about it. Right. So we did that. I even, you know, took the test, went to the schools, learned all the terminology. And then from there, you know, try to go get my license. When I was in the process of trying to do that, a good friend of mine was like, you don't even need a license. And he was a licensed agent.
Right.
A licensed agent telling me how to not get
a license. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So he's like, you need to learn how to wholesale. So did my first wholesale deal. Took me 3 weeks. Back then I didn't have a CRM. I didn't have a dialer. You know, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I copy and pasted public info online from. Mm-hmm. I had my cell phone that I dialed by hand, and I would do it all by myself. And within 3 weeks, my first deal was a $30K assignment.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So then from there, I wanted to learn fix and flips. And then from there, the learning never stops in real estate. One thing I've learned is there's always something to keep learning. And I'm like, all right, let's keep learning, you know? So learning is kind of what gotten to where we are now. So we've gotten some pretty big deals. We're not going to talk about it on this episode because we got some other stuff we're going to do before we actually announce it. But as far as that, fast forward to the business aspect, and, you know, wholesaling is supposed to be an entry point, okay? Now, granted, a lot of people do make it an actual business where they consistently do it. I don't think it's supposed to be something that you're supposed to be there for, like, the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's supposed to be an entry point to get into bigger things. Now, I get it. Everyone's got their own preference. Mm-hmm. Me, when I got into real estate, I've always wanted to do development. So that's my thing. I'm trying to build, you know, either apartment complexes or brand new neighborhoods, which ironically, we got a housing crisis, right? So if we got a housing crisis, let's build some more stuff. So you got a problem that needs a solution. That's pretty much, you know, where we're at there. But what else?
I know you kind of briefly mentioned how, you know, in real estate, we just keep learning. We're consistently learning about new things, and we always have to adjust, you know, with especially the market changes or the new laws, the new regulations. Just touching on education, have you yourself, like, where do you get your education? Is it from your mistakes? Is it from mentors, from courses, like other people's mistakes?
Where I started up at was free meetups.
Okay.
And meeting people actively doing what you want to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's number one. It doesn't cost you anything but showing up.
Right, like surround yourself into the right crowd.
Correct.
One of the things that my dad told me is like, if you hang out with a crowd of dogs, they're gonna teach you how to bark.
Right.
If you hang out with a crowd of wolves, they're gonna teach you how to howl.
Right.
So just
you are what you eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree. So I got into the room with once my buddy told me about wholesaling, I went to this meetup. When I went to this meetup, I connected with the right people, and if it wasn't for those people, it wouldn't have been possible to get my first deal. So for anybody out there that's trying to learn how to do wholesaling, don't do it by yourself. It's easier to collaborate. I know you want to make the whole amount, but it's going to probably end up taking you longer if you can just squat up with somebody. So keep that in mind, squat up. And if you're looking, reach out to us. We squat up with people all the time. If you get newbies that want to learn something, we have something we can help you to kind of get you started. If you're wanting to get into something a little bit more, I mean, we got something for everybody. So the goal is squat up with us, see if we can try to all build value and make money together. And let's build a community straight up.
Yeah. So essentially our goal is like, it's kind of to put it out there, we want to create a community where if you're new and can't, you're looking for your first deal, then, hit up Dante. If, if you're new and you just got your first deal under contract, let me know. We also have our own JV, operation. If you're already doing like 3 to 5 deals a month, you want to scale up, hit us up. We have, different, we'll just get like different.
We've had strategies where even people who've done deals. Here's my thing. I've gotten a lot of deals, and I started doing this with wholesaling because I had a bunch of people tell me on a couple deals that they weren't deals and they were too tight.
Right.
And at first I was like, okay, well, I guess this isn't a deal. I'll let it go. And then I had one deal where, kind of somebody from a big wholesaler, right, came and told me it's not a deal, to only find out
it was a deal.
That it sold for $65K over what I had it under contract. So, I mean, with that said, after that, I was like, you know what? I'll close on this myself. I'm not gonna let it, from there, I like selling on MLS, which is why I like Novations. If you want to learn Novations, somebody I recommend going to is going to be Richard Wonders, the Novation King himself. So if you want to learn about how to do novations where you're selling deals on the MLS, hit up Rich Wonders. Matter of fact, go to the Creative REI IG and DM me Novation, and I can get you 20% off the Novation course.
Pretty sweet deal. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so here's the cool thing too. With Novations, you're able to sell these stuff on market, so you have more access to buyers as opposed to having to deal with cash buyers that might be trying to lowball you, because obviously they need it low and you need it high. We know that. We get it. But with this, you get the whole world looking at it and you just kind of go from there. I got another deal, Creative. Okay. The wholesaler brought it. Nobody wanted to sell it. Nobody wanted to buy this thing, right? We were able to take it down Creative and get that wholesaler paid. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are looking to squat up, let's do that. Now, one thing I want to talk about, and I saw this video, right? It's Mark Cuban. I want y'all to, hey, I'm gonna play this video real quick. I want y'all to see this video, and then we're gonna touch up on it afterwards.
Here's your new tip of the day. When you see somebody on social media telling you how they're going to make you money, they're lying. I'm going to give you a secret that all successful people know. When you have a great idea, when you have a way to make lots of money, the number one thing you are not going to do is sell that idea, sell that service, sell that approach to anybody else. You're going to use it for yourself. You're going to start your own company. You're going to start your own LLC, whatever it may be, and take that and make money for yourself. Let me just give you some common sense information here. When somebody's selling their idea, shoes, drop shipping, whatever it may be, to you, and they're selling it to other people, you know what they're doing besides lining their pockets? They're creating competition for you. Now there's 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 people doing the exact same thing as you. And you know what they call somebody that goes into a business where there's unlimited number of people that you already know are doing the exact same thing as you? They call them stupid. Don't do it. Do not send your money to anybody online who's just telling you how they're going to make you rich. If they were really that good, they would be making themselves rich and not sharing it. So save your money. Figure it out. Do it right.
Whew. This is a good video.
He kind of looks. Am I tripping, or does his eyes look like he's kind of like maybe on like a relaxer or something? Look at his eyes. I'm dead. Like he hasn't slept. I mean, I like Mark Cuban. He's actually a smart guy. I read a book called How to Win at the Sport of Business. But what do you think about that video?
To me, it's like, I mean, I get it. It's like, if you're looking at a post or an advertisement like, here, get rich fast, get rich here, click now. I mean, it should give you a red flag alert instantly. Right. Like, this is too good to be true. But I kind of disagree a little bit on what he was saying. Because me, myself, I've personally invested into courses and masterminds where they weren't necessarily get rich here. It's more like here, I mean, different people portray it, so there's different courses, that they want to bring their audience, but, they're like, I'm successful, and if you want to be successful and, not do the mistakes that I've made over the past 10 years, and we'll talk it over, in one session, join now, right?
Right.
And, there's a lot of, masterminds like that. Nothing to bash on them, right? But I've personally learned a lot on, these courses and masterminds. Shout out to Rich Wonders. That's the one that, that's a really good course that we've ourselves invested into. And, it helped us.
And it closed an Novation deal that nobody wanted to buy. So that's, for me, I disagree with him too. I think, now at the same time, anybody says that they're going to make you any amount of money within, this amount of time, maybe fact check them and show like proof. Let me see some statements that show deposits that are real.
Right.
I mean, but at this, anybody can alter anything these days. You never know. But I think for me, I've spent over 50 grand on mentorship and education for just, let's say, real estate, networking, business, entrepreneurship. And there's been times where I already knew most of the stuff there. However, there's those little nuggets that maybe if you would have went, you would have never learned that.
And I think for me, it's to join the community, right? So
Facts.
I like giving Rich, an example because for us, it targets a lot of, the good points on why joining a course.
We've actually met some pretty cool people in the actual group, and now we're doing deals with those people. Right. So it's the community for me.
It's like
what you said. Right. It's the community. I think somebody said this. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said we're infiltrating. So we're going.
Somebody.
I don't remember who exactly said that, but we're infiltrating. I spent the whole last year going to meetups from different states, Phoenix, Texas, Florida, where else? Vegas, all over the place, and rubbed elbows and hung around with players in the room where the amount of conversations are just so high level that it's like only helps you to level up too. So sometimes you got to just pay to get in the room, right? Now, a lot of times, maybe when you pay to get in the room, you didn't get a chance to sit at the table, but you got enough information. What you can do is you can create your own table and you can have people sit at your table.
Leverage off those opportunities and create partnerships and relationships. And
straight up. And honestly, like I always have an intention on doing what I'm doing. So it's like, there's not anything that's going to stop me from doing that. Right. It's, where some people, one of the people I've actually mentored with said that most of the people that actually sign up for this shit just quit stuff.
Right.
Stuff. Right. Like,
no worries. We'll edit that out. But, no, you're right. I mean, we both together invested in a mentorship recently. It was a, it was a $30,000
expensive mentorship.
$30,000 mentorship. Not to brag or anything, but it's an investment for our company since we are looking to get to the next level and essentially scale.
Right.
So for us, we necessarily didn't want to know more about the real estate aspect, but more towards how do we go from here to the next level
straight up,
join these networks, and it might bring new opportunities. You never know.
Right. Well, I can tell you right now, any mastermind I've been to, any free meetup I've been to, any mentorship I've paid for, it's always benefited me and I can't complain about it. So it depends on what you're gonna do with the money you spend. Really, at the end of the day, it's gonna come up to you and you only. Right?
Right.
So that's what I got to say on that. With all that said, get the Novation package. This podcast is brought to you by the Novation King and his course. Get 20% off. Just go on the Creative REI, or it's at Creative REI on IG, and DM us the word Novation to get 20% off of the course. And then once you're done with the course, hit us up and let's do some deals together. I'm buying. I'm not just a wholesaler. We're not just doing novations. We do creative as well. We're closing on stuff. So if we can help you find a way to make it into a deal instead of these other guys that tell you not to waste time on it, let's see if me or one of my, somebody on my team can actually churn it into something. That's what we're here for, to collaborate.
What else? Right on. Other than the real estate stuff, what do you see yourself doing? Like
surfing. I just want to go surfing. Leave me alone. Matter of fact, I don't think they had us queued on for this, but I was asking you, because you went surfing with me once, didn't you?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I still remember that day. He hit me up in the morning, like, let's go surfing. I'm like, oh, my God.
Traumatized this man's life.
I was so sore from last night. I try to lift heavy. I mean, I don't go that hard, but I was super sore. I'm like, all right, let's try surfing, right? Like, we'll just swim around in a little board, whatever, right? This one takes me out to like
the jetty.
How big were the tides?
It was like 3 to 5. It was a pretty decent day.
It was like
actually.
6, 7 almost.
3 to 5 felt like 6, 7.
Yeah, but I think I just need to keep going out in the ocean.
You definitely need conditioning.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. We're going to work on so let me tell y'all something. There's working out conditioning and then there's surf conditioning. Trust me, there's a difference. But aside of him struggling and being tired on the board, okay, Did you ever have any peaceful moments in the water?
To be honest, no.
It was a struggle the whole time, right?
Yeah. But I think once you not necessarily know what you're doing, but know how to control the waves, I can see why it can be super peaceful.
Right.
Same thing goes to like skating, right? Once you're, going over the ramps,
get used to it.
bombing the hills.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it's like, hell yeah, let's do it all over again.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Man, so here's my thing. I like when you told me earlier, you were like, yeah, I was literally fighting for my life
Survival.
when I was in the water. Yeah. And I honestly, that's, I think, why I like surfing so much, because literally you're fighting for your life against the most powerful element on earth. And then you make it pass to look back and see what you conquered for one. And then the view is just like, you can't ever go wrong with it. And then you ride a wave and then you get beat up again and you do it all over again. I like to line that with life, right? With life, you're going to get beat up, right? One of the most successful, I can't remember where I read it, but most of the most successful people are successful is because they get hit the hardest and they keep it moving. Same thing with surfing, right? So, yeah, I agree.
Other than surfing, what else do you like to do? You like traveling a lot?
I love traveling. I mean, experiences are everything, man. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back. So I'd like to spend most of my time is traveling with my kids, going places we've never been, experiencing, tasting food, eating, breathing, all that stuff. Experiences is everything for me, and giving them that experience that I never had when I was a kid. It's a good feeling.
I know we recently just went to Puerto Rico together. That was a fun time.
Puerto Rico was a blast.
Other than Puerto Rico, do you have any plans for the coming fall, winter?
Fall, winter. You know what? I think Carmen's on here right now. Carmen, where are we going? Fall or winter?
Who's Carmen?
That's my girlfriend. What?
No, for the audience.
No, calm down.
Who's Carmen?
Carmen's my girl. Yeah, so my girlfriend's name is Carmen. We travel together. We like going to places. Where we go? We went to Oregon just recently. That was fun. We went on this, what we thought was going to be a river flow, and ended up having like rapids that were like dangerous and cut us up. It was the worst.
Didn't you almost attempted to
her 74-year-old grandma. Her 74-year-old grandma was on the rafters with us and just couldn't wait to get off.
Yeah.
Good times. What else? I feel like we're...
You went to Baja, right?
Rosarito. Okay. Yeah.
But do you have any plans for the coming?
I think it's going to be wintertime during winter break, right?
Yeah.
Big Bear or some mountain, Tahoe. I don't know. I'm trying to go snowboarding. Y'all want to go snowboarding? Hit me up. I like to go with a group of people and we bomb hills.
Cool.
What about you? If you had a place you wanted to go, where would you go?
I did want to go to Dubai. That was really in my bucket list. But ever since we talked, to our mentor, he kind of gave us the experience on Dubai. It doesn't sound that
Doesn't sound too pleasant.
So,
by the way, guys, this podcast is brought to you by PropStream. If you guys don't know what PropStream is, it's a software data that helps you find deals. It helps you comp them. It helps you find the homeowners. If you guys are interested in trying it out for free for 7 days, go to propstream.com/Dante Pena and get 7-day free trial to check it out. If you guys need some help navigating through PropStream, let me know. I'll have me or somebody on my team help y'all out with that. I think that's it, bro. What else? Cut it short. We don't need to do a full.
Yeah, we could.
We can do bloopers for 20 minutes.
Oh, the meetup coming up.
Oh, wow. How can I forget that?
Bro.
I'm nervous. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm nervous AF. September 20th, we got 2 really big deals. We're not going to release it yet, but we got 2 really big deals that we've done. And how we were able to do it was based off, we're going to show you how we found those deals. And so if you are interested in looking for your first deal, or you're trying to add more marketing strategies, or maybe you got some money to play with and you want to ramp up your game, show up September 20th. We're going to show you how we found these deals. We're going to give you some case studies. We're going to throw all that down. And then from there, have some networking, because it's a free networking. We're going to probably supply We're not probably. No, we're going to supply liquor and food because I know people like to drink and people like to eat.
Of course. Yeah.
9:20. Don't forget. Guys, thank you for watching and tune in for next week. That was fun.